Hi there, join me for a new idea on how to create a monochromatic memory keeping layout using some of the new Altenew releases. So see you in a bit. Hi there, and welcome to a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Natalie. Today we're going to be working with the scattered tiles, the stencil, and some of the new Shimmer relief paste to create a layout. And the inspiration comes from this card from Nathalie. I love like the monotone on the background. So the idea is kind of go monochromatic in 3 different ways with the new products. So I'm going to start by actually creating the background for my layout. Remember, I work in a 6x8 album, so it's going to be a bigger area than an A2 card. So I'm going to start with dusty pink to pick up the colors in the clothing my girls are wearing in the pictures. So I'm using stencil number 1 from the scattered tiles stencil, and I'm using one of my mini ink blending brushes just to add the base to my layout. You're gonna see that I'm going to create the first stencil completely, then I'm going to move it down to fill up my area. I have this is around a 6x8 more or less the area, but I want to create 2 surfaces because I need to create where my pictures are gonna go and also where my journaling is gonna go. So for the second one, I want to create something smaller. So you're gonna see me that I'm gonna play with the stencil number 1, and I'm gonna bring the one that I already have created, kind of create a continuation onto the second page. It doesn't have to be precise. I just want to make sure that it reads as a complete layout, even though there's going to be a break in between for the binding. So just gonna set that aside. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit, and I want to reach for my new Shimmer relief paste. This is the rose gold, because I want to bring those pink tones. That's what we're talking about, monochromatic, so there's a different way. I'm gonna reach for my palette knives, and the way that I'm going to apply the relief paste to create like a clean and very crisp application of the paste is going one single way. So you're gonna see that I'm putting the paste on my page, and then I'm just dragging it one way. You're gonna see that I'm not going back and forth. I'm placing it on the top right and dragging it towards the bottom left. I am making sure though that I fill every single space. Now here's the key, especially when you're using with something that is runny, and this is not runny, but it's nice and thick. But when you if you decide to go up and down with your palette knife, you have the run of making the paste go underneath the stencil, and that can create you will lose the definition. That's the best way to put it. You will lose the definition of the paste. So I'm just gonna be careful. Try to put it in one place and just kind of drag it to one single direction. So you're gonna see that again. I finished my application, took it, cleaned up my stencil, and I'm gonna apply it again. There is like an embossed, not embossed, but there's an edge of the previous design, so it's easy to set it in place. So I'm gonna follow the same idea to create the second application on the little tag or the little second little piece of paper that I have. And then I am gonna make sure that this dries. Actually, this piece doesn't take too long to dry. While that is drying, I'm gonna work on the idea. If you see the card that Nathalie created, she actually has her focal point. In this case, it kind of pops out of the page. So I'm gonna bring the same idea with a twist. So I am going to use, this is the tags and labels 2 die set, and I want to create, I'm gonna say maybe tag labels, I don't know which way you want to name them, that are gonna house my pictures. So I am playing with just the little part that creates the tags, and I want to make sure I play with them until I knew the size that was gonna fit my picture. And I'm actually creating my own label so that it fits to the picture. You're gonna see that I've done 2 edges. I used my ruler to make sure it's nice and straight, and I also created a large tag for my journaling. Now that I have those 2 edges of the tags ready, I'm actually going to go ahead and trim it off. I'm going to use my guillotine to have that precise edge, and that's how I created my, I'm going to say kind of like a label, a hanging label situation going on. So you're gonna see that I create 3 of them and a large tag. For the tag, remember that this die set only creates the top of it. So I'm just gonna use my comfy cut craft knife to just cut the edges and create that tag. For the little hole protectors, I'm just using the same die set, but I use brush rows for the, the hole protectors to keep playing on the monochromatic theme of this layout. So all I'm doing is just gluing my pictures in place, and then I realized that the 3 tags in a row are too big for my page. So I know that the one that's gonna go in the middle is gonna have to be cut short, and I then also realized that the label in this set actually is gonna cut it to the perfect size. So I went ahead and cut it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna hang or hold the tags or tag labels, I don't know what you're gonna call them, in place on my layout. So I'm just using some Shimmer rose gold metallic thread that I had, and I'm just going to thread it through the holes that I created on the labels, and I'm going to glue them to the back of my page. So you're gonna see that I'm just gluing everything in place first. I'm gluing my my little tag labels to my page. I'm using a ruler to make sure it's nice and straight. I make sure that I'm using liquid glue because I want something that's going to be really strong. When you add mixed media to a paper, it tends to be a little bit slippery, so you got to make sure that it's nice and secure. So once I have all my tag labels in place, I'm going to flip the page, and I'm actually using ultra sticky 1/4 inch tape to glue the backs of the strings to the back of the page. I'm just gonna see that I'm holding them, I stretch them, and I put it on top of the tape, and that's gonna keep it together. I did that for all the 4 sides, and then I'm gonna cut the excess. Once I have all that in order, I'm gonna add more of the ultra sticky tape to the back of my page. You're gonna see I'm cutting the excess of the strings. I'm gonna add more of that, and I'm gonna frame this on a piece of 7 by 8.5 cardstock, which is the size of my pages for my album. Once I have that, I'm gonna deal with the other side, and it's just gonna keep it plain. I'm just gonna have a long tag for this. I needed to bring, when you looked at Nathalie, she used actually some leaves, and I thought that was a great idea for this. So I'm using the Stencil Art Nature Splashes, the add-on die, and I cut leaves using white cardstock and also from the Brush Rose Gold metallic paper. I also used the XOXO and more die set to create a title and a sentiment for this. So I'm just gonna follow the idea that Nathalie had on just layering some of the leaves behind the title. In this case, this is just a sentiment on the center label tag. You're gonna see that I'm just putting 2 right now, and then I'm gonna go and working on my tag. I'm not gonna crowd it for now, just for now, but I want to create kind of a diagonal design between the label and the bottom of the tag on the opposite page. So I just place in the word hello. Remember, I used the XOXO and more die set for this, and the word girls is just comes from alphas that I have on my stash. And then again, I'm gonna play with the idea of bringing some of those leaves in alternate colors. I want to make sure that I have some of the brush rose gold and some of the white, and then I'm going to place my title on top of that. And then once I have that in place, then I'm going to bring the leftover pieces, kind of create like a little a bottom corner adornment or cluster at the bottom of the word XOXO, so that creates kind of that diagonal line that ties the 2 pages together. And I just got out of my Stencil journal. That's all I have to do outside of the camera, but I love how this turned out. A new way of using monochromatic with texture, with color, and with a little bit of like impact, and I hope you like it. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You can find more details in the blog, and thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more beautiful content, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, guys.
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye!